What up? This is week 2, I want to say, or maybe going into week 3. Crota raid on hard, and what I'm finding is people are starting to know what they're doing, and unfortunately, there's still a lot of people who don't know what the heck they're doing. If they do, they're screwing up a lot, and that's what I call shenanigans. And to me, it's not about the amount of runs, it's about the amount of shenanigans. And if the percentage of shenanigans is too high, for me, that's my signal to get the hell out of there. Whether it be verbal, non-verbal, just people screwing up, shenanigans, son. I can't deal with it. Or at least I can't deal with it for too long. Which actually today I did deal with it for quite some time until I got up with some people who didn't know what the heck they're doing. For example, this particular group here, my boy Infinity, he put it together. I was getting ready to get off, but I said, let me go ahead and give this a whirl. And first time I have to say that I've ever beat Crota on hard on the very first run. As you see here, getting it started up. I always go into this nook right here because this is my little spot. Let's see, somebody put a bubble up. That's okay. They block my shots. Usually I snipe the acolytes from right there in that little spot to my left, and the ones from the right can't hit me. Once I get done sniping the ones that I can get on the left, then I turn to my right and see if there's any in the back like that one. And but the bubble thing, it's cool. It helps generate orbs, and only drawback is sometimes the knights will come in and rush us. For some reason they seem to not like the bubble being planted. So, but fortunately this time we didn't have that happen. This is another thing, certain things that you just going into hard, people kind of almost now are expecting you to know off the top. So like, you'll find a lot of people saying, don't kill the knight, save the knight. People if you happen to have a super, the reason why is because the more orbs that are in here, it just helps people with their abilities build it, their abilities back up and things of that nature. Or before we go out, somebody might need orbs to regain health. So, in the knights, it's pretty much a rule of thumb these days. Don't kill the knights in the room unless you have a super. So you can generate orbs. So, and then here's rule number 2, as far as I'm concerned. Before you go out the door, make sure everybody's ready. That way you don't start the timer. So if you're one of those guys who run out the door before everybody's ready, you're going to find a lot of unhappy teammates directing negative energy your way, because that's rule number 2. Now, middle strategy right here, I guess, overall this will be rule number 3, which is get the sword bearer down as soon as possible. Have a designated sword bearer, and get the sword guy down as quickly as you can. Rule number 4, wait for him to make the call. You see all the rockets going out simultaneously for the most part. That way, if the sword bearer makes the call, the rockets all go out when they should. And this is we're heading into, I guess, rule number 5, which is get back inside the building if you're going back in, or simply just come over here to the left or the middle and hide from Crota, because he's going to move to the right, which you'll see him do here in a second. He just moves, see, moving to the right. So now, we've done one sword. Now we're basically waiting for the second sword. Our sword bearer did a good job of lowering his health and getting out of there alive. So for a sword bearer, I guess that would fall into rule number 6. Get good damage and get out of there alive. And everybody else within rule number 6, get back to either over here on the left ledge or head back inside if you need orbs and not get hit by the boomers on your way back in. So now we just sit and wait, because Crota's still on the right, waiting for him to move back to the middle, and we had to drop the sword keeper, whatever his name is. He's right there behind the rock. I'm keeping an eye on him. but I think people are looking through the window as well, trying to, keep tabs on him. So now here comes Crota, he comes back, everybody moves into position. I usually just hang out right here because this is just, it's better for me if I, for the most part, I know that there's not a lot of people around me, and when I go to shoot my rocket, Another thing right there, you can see the guy who is the sword bearer, he moved in because right there, this is one of those times where the sword keeper, whatever his name is, he will do a whole lot of bunch of stuff that can screw up the raid. So this guy did a really good job tracking him down and making sure that he did go down. And so now Rocket's out because he made the call. He goes in. Now here comes the enrage, which right here is rule number 7, probably one of the most important things. Well, actually, correction, there's no enrage right there. This is just the second sword. So we go back in. Some teams would sit out there and wait for another sword, which is a mistake because the ogres are coming. And, actually you could do it that way. I think we did it one time, but we enraged Crota too soon. So you only want one sword right there. That's why you see here that we have such a long time waiting for the ogres to come out, because we could have actually picked up another sword and hit Crota again, but the problem with doing that is that you'll enrage him too soon and you won't have time to get another sword because the oversoul will kill you before you can even get another sword. So you only do one sword right there. And that's the tricky part I think a lot of people are messing up on. Don't go for a second sword on that second go around. Just get one and then get the damage you can and head into the ogre room. Now you can see here we had a bit of a wait because I think we were a lot more efficient than other times that I've done it, and maybe other teams as well would get in here and the ogre will come out right away. But we had to wait for him because we did such a good job. So we did wait for him. We did take him down, as you see here. And now we're looking for the second ogre. Everybody's in the room still. I think everybody's pretty good on health, so we don't have any problems. Nobody's shooting each other in the back with rockets. That's one thing I see go down a lot in here. People just being really careful and really conservative. I don't even think anybody shot her. Matter of fact, it's probably a good idea not to shoot rockets out of this room, just for the simple fact, more than likely somebody's going to accidentally step in front of you and you'll end up blowing yourself up. So I would recommend actually just switching to snipers, primaries, whatever. We can take down the ogre. It's not a huge issue because as this is going down, what you just witnessed, we're still waiting for Crota to move back to the center. So, he made a rotation there, I think, and moved over to the right where you saw he was just at when I glanced over there. So now the whole thing when you come back up here is not only waiting for Crota to go back to the middle, but also making sure no thralls come in here and clearing them out because they do have a tendency to swipe people through the glass when we go back out for this final go at Crota. Which you'll see at the end of this video, I actually ended up getting swiped by a thrall. Fortunately, I was able to shoot my rocket before he actually killed me. Plus, I had radiant, so I did revive myself. And you'll see that here in a moment. But I think overall, this is just a group here that is very level-headed and knows what to do and what not to do. More importantly, what not to do. So here we go, right here. Final go at Crota. And so far, there's been no shenanigans, nobody dying, nobody doing stupid stuff. People apparently know what they're doing. And sword bear goes down or to grab the sword, and he's on his way. So now, this is it. Look how much health he has. You get to this point right here, without anybody dying, it's a miracle. But, maybe not. Just people knowing what they're doing. It's very simple. It's not hard. Especially when you have a guy like this guy. He knows what he's doing with the sword. Drop the sword, goes invisible. Matter of fact, I don't even know if he dropped it. He went invisible. And I get swiped, but I res myself. I did shoot my last rocket. And that was it. So, guys, this is way too easy to be failing it all the time. Get it together. It's your board. 1.